Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new round of Ultimate League here in Season 23 as we find ourselves then at the start of the second half of the season with round number 6. With half of this season done, we see Fatmi still leading the way since the beginning as he got that win at the opening round. However, he's definitely not enjoying that view on his mirrors as he's seeing now the sight of a black and purple card of Flix as we see then the Latvian, who could be on his way to make history by being the only second driver to win back-to-back world titles, as he's going to find himself then just 10.5 points behind the Frenchman. And the reason why he has that little half point is because both himself and Figueira, they both tied for that race win, meaning that they're going to be splitting the points, and they both then got 37.5 points instead of one driver getting 30 points for the win and the other one getting 35 points for second place. So with that said, that's how things work, and in the end it's still a 1-2 finish for one time, as we then see here Kubo then climbing up into third place, overtaking then F1 Fan. And then for the first time in this season we see then the freestyle world champion Figueira in P8 being then in the top 10 then in these standings. And then in the team standings we got a bit of a similar story compared to the drivers, where we see a Flow Force team who was looking pretty good at the beginning as they've been leading the way since the start, but now one time it's starting to approach them, being now just 8 points behind the pink team. And yeah, Flow Force definitely had some huge dreams at the beginning to win their second ever Constructors World title, as since they joined since season 2, where they actually became the world champions back then. But now I feel like that dream might be a little bit hard to realize in the end, as we see then one time being just 8 points behind and could be definitely on their way to take yet another Constructors World title. We also see here a very tight battle between LSA and Stargold there for third places. They're just separated by a single point. We also got some big news into one of the teams. Versus RMC now is going to be changing their lineup mid-season, as Juruni, who's been racing for them since the start of season 12, he's now decided to hang up his gloves, and so he's going to be replaced by the Spaniard Do Gamer, who is definitely a very useful ER sometimes for a lot of teams, and now he's finally going to get that main seat then. Located in Norway, this is a fictional track of Lake Shore, and as the name suggests, it is a track that is surrounded by a lake shore. It was made by Guziman, a definitely one track creator who has seen his tracks being constantly featured in Ultimate League in these last few seasons. And counting with that little king we see at the beginning of this of the lap, this is pretty much a track that features 32 corners, and it's definitely a bit of a complex one, and definitely a track that does feature a good variety of corners as well. So it is a very interesting track to race for sure, and it's definitely a bit of a track that takes some skills in order to dominate it, as you definitely need to be a driver who can be good in all types of corners, and so it is a very interesting track for that reason. Now the drivers could definitely be worried about the rain, but in these last few rounds the rain has definitely been very well tamed, but it hasn't really caused all that much damage. Of course, we got the first round in Portimao, where we saw some of the drivers fighting for the lead getting massively screwed up, and also in Russia, where it was a massive chaos. But after that, we haven't really seen all that much chaos in the rain. Mostly a lot of the drivers who get screwed up are usually the ones who really try to gamble with the rain and try to get it, but usually things don't seem to really go that way. So we will see the drivers then be more cautious this time and actually go for the safer option this time, or are they still going to try and play big and try to go for the high risk, high reward type of game. So without any further ado, let's then get ourselves into the qualifying session. Alright, so here we are then here in qualifying, as we see that here the one-time car of Flix, as he has that Norwegian flag today. Of course, with Guziman, who is from Norway, having that connection with this team. But either way, we see some drivers coming in today. We see, for instance, Member Goat, who's actually filling in today for Fatmi. So the championship lead is going to be missing this race, so that pretty much settles it for the title fight, I'm afraid. And yeah, at this point, the only one who's close enough to challenge Flix at this point, I'd say it's going to be Kubo. And maybe even F1 Fan as well, but they obviously would have to step up and actually be able to beat the Latvian. But either way, we see now Gajara's about to finish this first lap, and who's going to be on provisional point? It's going to be Figo. Once again, it is in the 3 times world champion. Now getting himself on provisional first place. And in the meantime, we also got Kola today filling in for Lynx Racing. And yeah, we see also here Nick Hill, who is the main driver, of course, for the SCP. But yeah, the way looking then at the deadline, we see now Albono is in P9. Today it's going to be 9 drivers going through into Q2 as we got this full grid today. So let's see now, just 2 corners to go to the end of this Q1, and let's see who's going to be able to go through here. In the end, it's going to be, I think, yeah, Figo and Flix locking up the front row, which doesn't really matter. We see now someone still yet to finish, and now here we go then. So these are the results from Q1, as we see now Zura from Mayhem Racing is going to be then in last place, followed in by Urist, and then you got Piggy, followed by Corvid. Well, that is a very disappointing qualifying from him. Then we got Toaster with Kala here in P13, and then we see Albono, Suduce, then Nikil, then being the driver who just couldn't make it by 500ths of a second, and then we see then the 9 drivers going through. We got F1 Fan followed by Krustanet here, the Spaniard today racing for Mayhem Racing. And then we see here Yoa, then in P7 followed by Don't Gamer, then you got Ludwig, Manbergold, Flix, Kubo, and then Figo. So these are then the 9 drivers going through, and as you can see we got then 2 1-times, 2 star goats, 2 full forces, and then we got also now a brand new main driver here, though Gamer, who's now going to be replacing Gironi till the end of the season. And yeah, then we got also 1 Mayhem Racing, 1 LHA, and 1 SCP. So without any, oh wait, no, not SCP, he is actually out. So either way, let's get ourselves then into Q2. Okay, so here we go then, Q2 here, 9 drivers left to fight for that pole position. And let's see, the 1-times managed to be in the first 2 positions, although they were tied. There's also someone else up there, tied with Flix. Now I can't exactly remember who, but either way, let's see now, this is the session that will actually matter here. And yeah, so should be interesting. We got Membergoat here today replacing Fatmi once again. And yeah, so it's the first time we see full force with the lineup of Membergoat and Yoa. And yeah, Bishani though, 1 race after getting the mod into the reserve seat, he actually ended up showing up in the previous round 2 weeks ago. But either way, now the drivers should be then about to set their first lap times. We see Figo and Flix looking good. We see also Crossnet there in 3rd place, but maybe Membergoat should take that 3rd place. But no, it's going to be a tie between Membergoat and Kubo. Crossnet is in P5, but in the meantime we see then Figuera in 1st place, followed by Flix. As yeah, Figo did manage to get the race win in the previous round, but it was a tied race win. So it is not a win that awards you 30 points, but rather 27.5 points. So that is how things work. But yeah, as we see then, we see now Figo, they're now in 1st place. Let's see who's going to be able now to take that pole position here right at the end, and Figo improves, and no one can get closer to him in the end. Ooh, you see, oh my god, Yoa right at the end, but it's only for 2nd place. So this is then the starting grid. We got then Figuera starting in 1st place, followed then by Yoa starting alongside. Then we got Flix then being split from his teammate right at the end. Then we got then Ludwig starting P4 with F1 Fan splitting the start goes with Kubo starting P6. And then we see Membergoat actually tied with the Polish driver there for P6 with the 40.58. Then we see Krusenet and then No Gamer then being the last 2 drivers in this Q2. And then following the other 9 drivers, we got the Nikil in P10, followed by Suduce. Then we got Albono, Kola, Toaster. Then we got Corvid starting from P15, and we see Piggy, Urist, and then Zura starting in last place. So without any further ado, Let's get ourselves into a 35 lap race with 10% rain around Lake Shore. Alright, so here we go, then we see a rainy start here. We got Figueira right at the front, but it's going to be then a rainy start for this Norwegian Grand Prix. And here we go, then the lights are out. We see a split strategy between the wets and the eaters with Figueira now starting on the inside now as we see Flix already trying to take second from Yoa. And can he do it? No, as they go side by side as now Yoa tries to take the lead. And can he do it? I think he might be able to as we see now. Oh, Ledley going off the track there. Very unlucky for him. We see Flix just surviving. That seemed like rocket that he was in with the American. And then we see a fun fan already up into second place. An amazing start from the LSA drivers. We see now Figures just getting pushed off. Oh my god, seems like there's a bit of a collective effort to just stick out the one times here. As they're now down in P3 and P4. We see Kubo up into second place. Also an amazing start from him. But the same cannot be said about his teammate though. Look at him now down in P15 as we see more rain coming in the end. So seems like no one really went for that risk of starting on the dry tires. But as we see now, Yo with the massive lead at the front. So let's see, can Yo keep it or not, as we see now Figueira then in second place. So you're going to be leading this chasing charge. As we see now Kubo then just following the one times, and we see a fun fan, and then Carver also just trying to survive here. And now we see looks like the rain is looking to end. And yeah, you see then the clouds coming in. You see, oh my god, Kola, the bit of a weird incident there with Nikhil. And then we see Suzuki then in P12 is definitely not doing all that well today so far, but still a long way to go. You see also Albon and Urist. Oh my god, that was kind of weird there. Couldn't exactly see what went on there, but in the meantime we see this massive battle now between the RMCs. Dogemer now doing his first race as a main driver this season. Once again he got signed by RMC. And then we see here Crosonet and maybe going around the outside of the Australian. Can he do it? That could be an amazing move there from the Spaniard. So there he goes in Crosonet. We see Carvid having a look up the inside, but has to think better of it. But as we see, Crosonet makes a little mistake. Now we see Dogemer who tried to find some space, but that space was not there in the end. So still big battles going on here. Crosonet goes off the track once again. Now Sneakhill managed to benefit from that. As we see then the SCP having the inside line. And he takes it, there he goes. In the meantime at the front, seems like the one times are alone. Gonna have to catch then Yoa. I think they're doing a pretty good job of that. In the meantime looks like we're gonna have more rain. It seems like he has come back before, so yeah, looking to be a very rainy race today. There's only 10% of rain, but sometimes this can happen, of course. But in the meantime, we still see this huge midfield battle here. We got Kala as well there, racing for Lynx Racing today. Let's see now Sluch going around the outside already, batting for P8. So really starting to recover some positions here. But let's see what can the Bulgarian then do here. As we see now Carvid up the inside, and now there he goes. Yeah, Carvid able to now get past Suduch. So yeah, then we see here Krustanet versus Manbergoats filling in today for full force as he uses their team principal. And as we see now, Krustanet going for the dive up inside, and he may have pushed the Dutch driver into the grass here. As you see now, Suduch maybe going around the outside. Yeah, there he goes. Ooh, but Carvi though finding himself into some messy ping here. But now he's going to be then in P9, and you see Suzuki now trying to make a move on Manbergoat here. Can he get past that full force car? Yes, he can. So look at him now. He was down in P12 at the beginning, but now he managed to recover up to P7. So that is 5 positions that he has gained since then. And then we see Crosonet also doing a very solid job as always. He's depthing that one ER driver that you want to have when he's available, which is not exactly always. So yeah, then you see here, Yo was starting to lose his lead already. Figueira really proving to be really fast. Remember, in the previous race he was definitely faster than Flix, but Flix managed to come back with some nice undercuts. And sadly they had that tight win in the end. In the meantime, also with a very good form, it's been Kubo. Last race, he was definitely challenging Flix for that second place, but then once again, those undercuts from Flix really did change the tide, and yeah, so he had to settle for third. But yeah, today's running P3, of course, with Yo in first place with that massive gap at the front, is definitely give him a nice push here. So even if he doesn't win, it's definitely gonna give him at least a nice podium. But as you see, he makes a little mistake now. This could be a good opportunity for Flix to get closer if they lose a lot of time together. As we see now, Figo goes for that lead here as he goes around the outside. As we see, Yo is still fighting, but he's gonna have to back off in the end as Figo then takes the lead of the race. And now soon this driver should have to pit for the dry tries with Yo and goes deep into the grass there by himself. You know, that's gonna be a heartbreak in the end for Yoa. So yeah, big disaster there as they all then dive into the pits. Kubo's gonna stay out. Kubo doing what he loves to do, which is gambling. And he now finds himself in first place, so let's see if that's gonna work in his favor. Ooh, it's both Stargoats in the end doing it. Not sure if I like this as their team owner. I guess I would prefer if they would go for split strategies, but let's see how will things go here. As in the meantime, we see Krustanet end up inside of Membergoat. These two drivers still continue to battle each other. And I think these should be the two drivers that I should watch. But yeah, I don't think this rain is going to come back as we see now Membergoat going around the outside of the Spaniard. But yeah, now things are starting to slow down already. In the meantime, we see F1 Fame with an easy move on Ludwig. But yeah, now there you go. Both of them, they're not going to mess around any longer. As we see now, yeah, Kubo lefty losing with this now. He's down in P8. Ludwig also is going to be losing some positions. But he's going to end up just ahead of Kola. So let's see what can he do from here. In the meantime, we see now Yo and Flix. So Yo managed to get himself in the middle in the end. And let's see, he has the soft tires. He's going to be trying to catch the Japanese-Portuguese driver right ahead of him. And yeah, is Flix going to try and pass him? He sort of feels like he was before. But now he may just try and stay behind. In the meantime, we see Krustanet and Membergoat here. Once again, those two drivers still going at it. And then we see Harvey maybe trying to find a way past these two drivers. And he might already be ahead on his screen. Let's see how that's going to end up. I think he's going to have to be behind still. But yeah, Kubo now, he's going to have fresher tires, so he's going to try and have a good use of that. And I believe it could be possible if Membergoat and Krustanet continue to battle. But I guess now that should not really be the case, because they have completely different tires, so we should see Membergoat trying to slipstream Krustanet. Now the main question is Carvin, who as you can see makes a mistake there. He's obviously trying to recover from a disastrous qualifying, which he's already done a good chunk of that work. He's already getting a lot of positions, and so here nice recovery there in the end from him. And then we see Suduch then in P9, just ahead of 2Gamer, and then we see Ludwig there in P11. And then we see here Yuris just behind Zero. But as we see then, we got Yo now. Looks like he managed to get rid of Flix. And yeah, still not being able to be faster than Figo though. But he gained some time to Flix in this last lap. So perhaps this happened a lot before. But either way, we see once again things definitely coming down here. Ooh, but I think I'm seeing more battling towards the back. Yes, there he goes. Oh, Yuri's going off the track with this Yura. But he shows some nice sportsmanship and he actually slows down. So that's pretty nice there from the Mayhem Racing driver. As we then see here, Membergoat and Krustanet. And let's see, Krustanet's still taking that slipstream now. Kubo's gonna try and find a way past Ilshra. Is he gonna let him through or not? As we see, Kubo's gonna have to go the long way around. And there he goes then, Kubo. Now going through these waves. As we see, Car is gonna fight back though with Kubo. Ends up on the grass, so that's gonna be a bit frustrating for him. In the meantime, we see now Ludwig also trying to catch Sluch. And he's definitely getting closer there. But again, let's see now Kubo. With a nice exit, it's gonna have the inside. Look, he didn't got pushed deep into the inside there. But now let's see Kubo. Then just try to complete the move. Is he gonna go too deep? No, as you see now, Corvid now goes into the pit. Well, this could be interesting though, because of this battle between Membergot and Crucinet. It could find himself back on that. But in the meantime, looks like, yeah, Membergot already ahead of the Spaniard, and but just seems like this seems to be a bit of a mediums dominated track, actually. But at the same time, we've definitely seen a bit of everything. But as we see then, now diving into the pieces, we got in our first retirement. Zero then DNFing. Ooh, and I think that was a connection thing, because I was just seeing his little dot just flying around. As you can see him just passing through Ludwig's car on our screen. And yes, so I guess it was a connection failure there from him. But in the meantime, we see Sluch now getting past Ludwig again, and then we see Crucinet then in P10. And kind of getting the impression that these speeds might be a little bit long. But in the meantime though, Menbergo just trying to get some of that slipstream from his teammate. But I think Yo is already too far ahead, so yeah, in the meantime, look at this. So Yo is going to be very close to Figueira here. And this could bring him back into this battle. Because now Figue's going to have to get past F1 Fan. I think he's going to just let him through. There he goes. So he knows this is not his fight today. But yeah, Yo though will probably wish that the LSA driver would just slow him down a little bit. But let's see now. Is he going to get slowed down by the Romanian driver? No. So there he goes. Yeah, F1 Fan definitely struggling here. He desperately needs to pit. In the meantime, we see Kubo try to maybe go longer on these things to try and maybe save a pit stop, potentially with terrain, giving him a helping hand. But yeah, in the meantime, we see then a bit of a chaotic battle here. We've got both LSAs with Crucinet and Carvid. And yet Solution will still yet to pit, so he's probably the one in the middle of F1 Fan. It's just pitted, so he got undercutted. And then we see Carvid also right in the middle of this, so this is what we were talking about. Carvid by pitting earlier could easily catch. Oh my god, Solution there. Getting caught up out of nowhere as he just gets himself into the grass there. There's going to be a huge loss of time actually for him. But as we see then, we got now Carvidi was back on this battle with Crucinet, and also now Merbergo to just pitted. And look at him, he's definitely doing what he loves to do, which is that one alternate strategy. And in the meantime, your eyes do not deceive you. We do see here, Yo, I'm batting for the lead with Figueira. I think he's gonna be very thrilled at the end. As you see, he just lost Figo now. That could be possible with how short the range is for that slipstream, but I think now he's gonna be back, so he's gonna be pretty nice there. So there he goes, Yo. He's gonna try and get himself into the battle. Of course, he already has a race win up to his name, and it was definitely a huge joy to watch in the previous season. But yeah, in the meantime, we see also Flix just trying to catch these drivers. With him battling sometimes that could help him pretty massively. And but yeah, I think now Flix looks to be on course to make history by being then the only second driver to win back-to-back world titles. Yeah, that hasn't happened before for a good while. In the meantime, we see Yo is just slowing down for Figo. And now look at this, look at how much Flix is gaining, almost half a second to the top two drivers here. So we are definitely having a bit of a race in our hands here, as we are now already on the second half of this race. But yeah, Yo was just watching that one time car. But in the meantime, he's going to be seeing another one through his side mirrors. And he's going to be surrounded by these two Norwegian flags here today. We see Figo now just making a bit of a mistake. Now we see Flix trying to find a way past that flow force, but he was not able to do it so far. Let's see now. They're going to be all three of them very close. And as we see here, Yo is just trying to be a good challenger to these two one times. As we see now, Flix goes up the inside, could not make the move there. So yeah, they have to worse to watch this battle now. I think Flix is going to be trying to get past that South African driver. And let's see if Yo is still on that slipstream range. He might not be, or maybe he is. Remember that he has a bigger ping, so that always needs to be in consideration here. So let's see now, Yo. Figo would think once again with a little mistake. He's perhaps not driving at his best. It's possible that he may have some sort of issue, which we have seen before. Drivers could have these lags that cause them to mess up, especially when they appear throughout the middle of a corner. But I think Yo definitely needs to pit now, because his medium tires are starting to get pretty old and it becomes very difficult to just follow the other two drivers. But so far he actually decides to stay out. I guess he doesn't want to have that tire disadvantage, and at this point in the race he could actually be thinking about when they are going to do their final pit stop. But yeah, either way, in the meantime, we see now Kubo creating P7. And yeah, I wonder what happened, because now I'm seeing Membergoat in P5, absolutely outsmarting everyone else. Because yeah, when he left the pits, he was behind the Crusonet and Corvid as well, so he definitely gained on this thing. As we see now, Kubo trying to go around the outside. Can he make the move? Yes, he can. So there he goes in, Kubo. As he absolutely needed that. In the meantime, we see the top three all pitting at the same time. And as we see now, looks like the one times will be able to get away. Oh, but look at this. We got Membergoat also in the middle. And he could definitely try to slow them down, because he's going to be Yoa's teammates. And of course, he's not going to have a huge interest in terms of driver standings, because he's barely driving this season. This is only his second race. And look at this now. I think Membergoat is doing it. He's slowing down the others, but now he gets pushed wide there. But now let's see, he's going to get out of the way of his teammate. Yes, he will. And now Yoa could have a chance to catch back to the others, but is that going to be enough? Yes, it will. There goes Yoa. He's back on that same stream range, but now can he keep it? That is the main question. So yes, there he goes. What a great shot from Membergoat. And the thing is that this didn't really... This doesn't exactly sacrifices his race for this, actually, because he was staying out either way. So things playing it nicely for Flow Force, or at least just giving them a chance to battle the one times. Of course, there is a constructor's title on the cards here. They are still leading after all, but the one times are very close and it could be passing them today. Actually, at this point, they are set to take back that lead in the constructors, but either way, they could at least just take one punch back and be able to, get at least some sort of redemption here. Because yeah, their dreams of winning their second constructors title could be over now, but as we see, Yo is just gonna try and stay with the one times and see if he can beat them in the end. But I feel like Flix might be starting to slow down. He has nothing to lose in terms of driver standings, because Fatmi is out of the picture after missing today's race. And yeah, the others who could potentially beat him are also quite far behind here with Stefan Fen and Kubo. But we already knew it would be hard for them to beat the Latvian for the title. And yeah, now we are starting to see that. We're starting to see Figueira getting away. And now the job is on Flick's hands to try and secure yet another 1-2 finish. for the current constructors champions then, as we see Yoa. Then right behind in mid, I will see Membergot still there in P4, but he's gonna have to pit one more time. And that time is now. In the mid, I will see Yoa maybe try to fight for the second place as he ties up the inside. But as you see, Ulfix touches some grass there, so Yoa now takes second. So there he goes, Yoa was fed up with Flick's shenanigans there. Perhaps seeing that Flix was just slowing down there on purpose, or maybe he just lost Figueroa's slipstream by himself, which is possible. As well as Field FT is being quite fast today. But as we see then, Figo today could finally have his redemption and finally be able to get his first solo win of this season. And finally be back to his 3 times world champion form. So let's see now, we see Flix taking back second, but again he makes that same mistake on that exact corner. So on those wiggles where he makes some mistakes there. And yeah, then we see here Membergot now in P5, so definitely an amazing race, and now he has a chance to catch F on Fennel to the end. But time is running out though, so might be a bit of a stretch there. In the meantime, we see this battle between Crusonet and Corvin as they go side by side. Good, we see now Kubo taking some scraps here. Trying to get himself into P5 there, as we see also Ludwig 13 P9. But we see now there goes Kubo up the inside of the Australian and not being able to go for the move. But yeah, we see now Yoa just trying to hold on against Flix in this battle for second place. Figueroa's already seems to be having this one in the bag. But there's still 4 laps to go. In the meantime, we see now Kubo just taking P6 there. Trying to recover this race a little bit as he tried to gamble for the rain. But that single lap where he stood out on Inters on the dry weather really did hurt him a lot. As we see now Kubo once again just trying to battle Corey here. I think this is also allowing for Ludwig to get closer. And I feel like this might be what Kubo wants. As we see him now just trying to hold on there. But you see Corey also now starting to be affected by his huge ping here. And I think now he might be able to get away now. There he goes, Kubo getting himself into P6. In the meantime, I think Yoa may have lost Flix here. I think this may be it in the battle for second place. But we'll have to wait and see. Flix could still make a mistake and then still slow himself down. But let's see now. Ooh, Yoa though, he's gonna be the one making the mistake instead. But yeah, there's not that much time left. Here, it's just going to be now 2 laps to go as soon as Figueroa crosses the line. But in the meantime, we got this battle then between Ludwig and Crusonet as here he goes. Ludwig still managed to avoid the Spaniard in time as Crusonet went into the grass. But then nice battle here for P8 in the end. As we see Crusonet maybe try to come back on the American, but as we see Ludwig got this well covered. But yeah, let's see now. Crusonet once again is probably going to try to turn 2, but or maybe not. Yeah, I think he's gonna stay behind. But in the meantime, we're definitely gonna have to watch the front here. We see Figo about to start his final lap of the race. And yeah, what an amazing race this was from Figo. Definitely started to show himself with an amazing form as we see Flix also in second place there. Yoa though, for me, he should be the driver of the day because what a performance that he had. Amazing start. Managed to get a good cap to the others. And of course he got caught up by the one times, but he definitely gave them a good run for their money. And I think Yoa is going to be very satisfied with this podium. Because it was fully deserved again. So let's see now. Figueroa once again now starting to show why he's a 3 times world champion. Is he going to be racing in Norway with the Norwegian flag livery? and he crosses the line to win the Norwegian Grand Prix with Flixton once again making a 1-2 for one time, and then we see Yo with an amazing podium. As we see then, oh, why the hell does Figo appears in third? That is kind of weird, but we see now Kubo just holding on for P6. We see, oh, Ludwig at Croissant. Oh, Croissant slows down in the end. Yeah, there is a weird bird there from Figo, but of course he's the one who takes the win. And then you see here Kola just ahead of Toaster. We then got the Ricards battling each other there. Ooh, the piggy push Albon off, I think he did there. So Albon then takes back the position. And as you see then we got then Flix now appearing in first, but no, it is then Figo, and then with the race win in the end, and we got Flix then in second place, and then Yor with the fastest lap taking then third place. And you see a F1 fan in P4 followed then by Membergo to couldn't quite catch the Romanian driver in the end. But then we see Kubo managing to hold on and get Scarlet for P6, with Scarlet also taking the fastest lap. Then we see Ludwig then in P8 just beating Croissant in the end, with then No Gamer finishing in the top 10. Then we see Seduce then in P11 followed by Nikio. Then we see Kola followed by Toaster. Then we got both free cars here, Albon and Piggy. Then we see Rist, and then the retired T0 there in P18. So without any further ado, let's then get ourselves into the post-race interviews. Okay, so here we are then in the post-race interviews, and we're gonna then start with Figo, has finally managed to get a solo win. Obviously there are some weird things going on in the end with the results screen, and yeah, so what exactly happened? Because yeah, obviously this implies that you had some kind of freeze or lag, so yeah, talk to us about that.
Just the casual 3-second lag spike where my game is just frozen. I'm not even exaggerating as well. It's just the game performance is fucking awful. Like, it just gets worse day on as the days go on. And my FPS is like 58. It's just constantly stuck. But yeah, it's a good race. It was just a bit difficult at the beginning because the race was just awful for us. And I honestly don't even know what happened. We just got like lag off into the track and shit, and then I got pushed off myself as well. So we had a bit of a gap to make up. But yeah, you gave us definitely a good run for our money. Yeah, he had a pretty good pace to be fair. But I can't really tell exactly how good it was. It was definitely fantastic, I think. But yeah, it was good. The free gap he was going at the beginning, my time loss as well because that lag spike. And then we just fought and stuff. And but it was he definitely kept us on he kept us on our toes. Unlike the last two races where we just like ran away. He was definitely up there. But yeah. It was a tough race, but yeah, it was it's a fun one.
Alright, and then we got Flix finishing second place today, and yeah, close fight there with Yo in the end. So yeah, how do you feel?
I mean, yeah, it's just shit. I don't know if you saw, but right after I lost Figo and Yo, I also had two weird when my game froze. So it was quite annoying because then I had to fucking catch up, and then I did not catch up, and then catch up, but they were fighting, so I caught up, and then some bullshit happened with like in some turns. Like I don't know how Kubo does it, but I'm just shit at slipping. So I don't know how to slip, so I keep making mistakes, and that's Yoa caught my back, so he lost Figo at the end, and then in the end, I think Yoa made like a mistake on one of the last turns, so that's where he lost me. But yeah, it was an interesting fight for the podium, or like for P2 there. And also the race start. I actually no clue what happened. I don't even know if it was Ludwig or Figo that I lag rocketed with. It was a bit weird, but yeah.
Okay, so nice to hear. And so I just saw that Yo told me to just interview Menbergold first, and And yeah, I guess he's relocating. Okay, so either way, let's then go to member goat. P5 finished today, a nice alternate strategy as well. As I remember, we were battling the likes of Kursanet and Corvi, but then in the end, he managed to come out on top of all of them. So yeah, how do you feel?
Yeah, not bad. That like I think mostly the first stint I just got ultra like sent by a lot of people in those first couple of corners. I decided to start on the inters just with the hope that it would dry pretty soon, but it didn't, so that didn't really help. And then yeah, I was just getting shoved around by that group that was like P5 until P7 or something, or P9 I think I was in at some point. But after that, like things got a bit better. I got some space, and like on the dry, I had very good pace. I think like my hard space was better than most people on the mediums in front of me. So I just started catching them again, and then because they didn't have like this last fast tire to go on in the last stint, that helped me to get past them, but didn't really have the pace to catch F1 when he was a bit too far ahead, and I was making a lot of mistakes in the last stint also. But it was fun because I also got to try and hold up the one times a little bit, not for that long, but just to get Yoa back into slipstream and see if he could do anything there. But in the end, P3 very solid results from him, and P5 from me. So like FLF second best team again, I think. So very happy with it.
All right, so really nice to hear. And then I guess now I think we can go to Iowa. Uh, oh
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, what a race today. Third place, gave a good run for their money of the. You gave the one times a good run for their money, and yes, do you feel like this was your best ever performance, or is that race win still the one?
Honestly, I think before today it was probably Bruno that was my best. Ah, yeah, I'd say the one times got kind of lucky that they wanted today. Um, little accidental tap of an arrow key meant Flix was able to go away, even though I had the pace over Flix. Just made a few mistakes at the end as well. He was making a few mistakes, but even without that, I had the pace. Figo was just out of touch, tried to give him a fight and everything. Pushed me off the track once. It was alright. I pushed him off the track. I did it back through. And yeah, just had to had to kind of just had to do my thing at the end. That was fun. Holy moly, that was like midway through the race. I was looking at my screen. I was like, you know what, we this is like at this point we're just here to have fun. So I just once I was keeping up with Figo and once Man Big Goat shouts out Man Big Goats as well. Once you held up the one times, because the one times like you see the thing is you've got to split them and you've got to cause a bit of commotion for them because if not, they just run away. So Manbeko did a fantastic job with that, held them up, and from that point onwards, I'm not gonna lie, I was just trying to be a thorn in their like asses, I guess. Yeah, Flick's got a bit lucky that a bit of mispressed buttons meant that he ran away with second. I almost caught him, but then I made a mistake. But you know what? That was a fun race. Holy moly. Wow, that was brilliant. And double top five for FLF. Uh Podium. I will take that one, two, and three on the podium in terms of the results that I've had. Where I've come on the podium, and this was by far my best drive, so can't complain.
All right, it's nice stuff there. And yeah, then we go then to Kubo. As the P6 finish, you try to obviously gamble once again. That seems to be your favorite activity, but it didn't work out this time. So yeah, how do you feel?
Uh, yeah, it was a misjudgment. It wasn't really a gamble because I hadn't prepared to pet. I had forgotten to pet, and then I decided to just own it and try and get lucky to go back into the top three. But yeah, it didn't work out. Was on for a fight for P4 against F1 fan if I hadn't done that. So a bit of a shame. Then I was overcutting the rest of the race to try and get lucky with rain. Ended up with P6, which I guess I'll take, but there was much more on the plate there. Um, at least I'm still holding on to third in the drivers. I think a point ahead of F1 fan. So we'll see how that develops for the final 4 rounds of the season. And shout out to Ludwig. He couldn't interview today. He got murdered at the start, went down to last, had a great comeback up to P8. So overall, I think solid points. I've calculated that. I think we're still 1 point behind LSA. Both of us scored the same amount today. So that's also still going on. And yeah.
Alright, so nice to hear. And then I guess we go to Carly. There's yeah, probably very frustrating qualifying today, but you managed to sort of come back and yeah, I guess it must have probably been a very stressful race for you because I did saw you were always in the middle of something in this race. So yeah, what do you feel?
Yeah, just main thing was just that everything got undone by the qualifying. I think I started 15th today, which is just like ridiculously poor on my end, and I was just like, I just had two really like bad mistakes on both my laps, and that was just it. Um, on the flip side, I probably had the best start I've had in a long while. I got up to like P5 by the end of the first or second lap, something like that. Um, found I had no, I have no wets practice on this track, so I sort of struggled for the first 5 or so laps. So I lost the leading group, and then I found a little bit of a home where around P7 to 8 around for the rest of the race, pretty much. Um, got stuck a few times. Felt like I should have had more slip than I did. Um, at one point, the guys behind me caught up a lot because I was trying to let Manbear through because he was on fresh softs. I let him through, and then I instantly got edged off and lost his slip and lost like a second. And then I raced with Kubo for the rest of the race, and that was like definitely the highlight because I think we raced pretty cleanly, all things considered. Ended up like photo finishing with him at the end, so yeah, that was definitely like a positive part to add on to. But yeah, overall, I'm pleased with how this went. Though obviously, it could have been a lot better with like just how quality went, unfortunately. But the points are good. I think Dog Gamer finished in the top 10. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure he did. So that's good. Uh, yeah, just hoping to catch up to the SCPs. Maybe get fifth. We'll see what happens.
All right. Then the next, who should be? I'm not sure if Sudochi is someone who makes interviews. Get if there's no Suzuki, I guess we go to. Oh, wait, he's typing. But if you want me to make an interview, you can get an interview. All right. Okay, so we go then with Suzuki and yeah, so you got P11 just shy of the top 10, and yeah, I must imagine this must have been a very difficult season considering all of the kidnappings and stuff. So, but either way, you managed to race today without getting kidnapped. So yeah, what's your feeling today?
Shit. That's really about it. I don't know where to improve. Everything is just looking shit, and yeah, I don't know what to do. Kind of pessimistic, but yeah. Shit is bad. On the bright side, I will be taking a break next season, so I won't be on the grid with all of you guys. So yeah, that's all I believe. I'm gonna see.
Okay, so yeah, I guess it was quick, and yeah, wish you the best of luck as well. And yes, so I guess to end, we go then with Albono. And yeah, so you had a bit of battle there with your teammate there, and so yeah, what went on there? Because I saw Piggy then slowing down where you pass after like pushing you or something. So
Yeah, well, I mean, in that battle, I'd caught up quite a bit to him, and then got past quite easily. because he was on absolute cooked hards and I was on new softs. I got past, and then I was watching the minimap to see where Mamber got finished, and then I just fully straight lined it out of like the top right. So he caught back up again, and then he just absolutely murdered me into the chicane. So he let me back through. But at the start, I don't think it was caught, but you will see it on the minimap on the recording. Me and Toaster had a lag rocket that lost us a combined 9 seconds, um, which I do not get. I mean, it was quite literally the worst lag rocket I have ever seen. And it's between two drivers on 33 ping that live 4 hours away from each other. So I don't I don't know how it happened, but it was like it was mad. I really don't understand it, but it was huge. And then the entire race was literally just a big comeback from both of us. And we, to be fair, we did catch up. We got past Eurist and Jara was acting like we were fighting for P1, so that was a bit harder to get past. But still, we got past and then managed to catch up to like Piggy and Cola at the end. But I think definitely if that didn't happen, top 10 was on for both of us. But it did. But I think even though it is what was it, like 15 in the end, I think this is the first UL race, definitely this season and probably since Saxon Ring, since I feel like I've literally gotten like 100% out of what I could have done. Like I couldn't have done any more than what I did in its P15. So I'll take P15. If the lag rocket of Dreams didn't happen between me and Toast, then it could have been better, but it did. So there's absolutely nothing I could have done. So I don't know. It was pretty fun. The track's fun, and Celestia Ring's even better. So very excited for that.
Alright, so nice to hear, and yes, wish you good luck as well for next time. And yes, so I guess this is it then for the interviews, as now next round is going to be another raining one, and it's going to be then the second race done with 25% of rain, as we're going to then race at Silesia Ring in Poland. So we'll see you there. Until the next time, and goodbye.